Hello and welcome to the Sugar Bell Review, a program dedicated to learning about the people, places, and policies that make up the Bellbrook Sugar Creek community. Now, the original goal was to have Dapper Dean join us this evening. However, there was a problem and an emergency in his family, and we have with us Hope Taft instead. She will be discussing the Little Miami Watershed Network. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Hope.
Thank you for having us.
Now, I wasn't quite sure what the Watershed Network is. Would you mind kind of filling in that gap? What's
Sure.
it?
The Little Miami Watershed Network was started in 2015 to network together all the community groups that work to protect the Little Miami River. And that was a result because in 2010, some neighbors started the Little Miami River Cleaners, and many people have heard about our efforts on a yearly basis to take the trash out of the river.
Oh,
Every
wow.
June we try to give it a good spring cleaning.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it is great fun. In the last 10 years we've taken about 12 tons of stuff out of there.
Wow.
Even this year, even though it had to change because of the COVID, we managed to take a ton out of trash out of the river, just in the small Greene County section, basically Sugar Creek, and 170 people plus helped us take all sorts of things out of the river.
So by a ton, do you mean a literal ton, or do you just mean a lot?
No, I mean a literal ton, 2,086 pounds.
Wow.
And a ton is, of course, 2,000 pounds. So
That's
a little more than a ton.
Just a little bit more, but that's
a vacuum cleaner more.
vacuum cleaner. You found a vacuum cleaner in the river?
We found a vacuum cleaner.
Oh my goodness.
And I have a wonderful medallion in my driveway. She's concrete, but she's a beautiful face of some Greek goddess with a lion or a tiger or something as her headdress with the paws around her shoulder. We've had 8 tires came out. One was a great big like a tractor, and one was small like a bicycle. A lot of plastic, a lot of styrofoam, a lot of flip-flops. We could probably dress a person.
Really I would say we've lost more than our fair share of sunglasses and flip-flops and canoeing adventures, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's cool that they can be cleaned up and eventually they're taken out. That's helpful because, when the river steals them off of a canoer, it's probably a little disappointing.
It is, and because it is such a recreational asset to our community, we needed to keep it clean so that it was a fun adventure for people and a positive experience. And the more we took the visible trash out, the more we realized that there was a lot of invisible pollutants in the water that we couldn't see but needed to come out. And so we started doing water quality. There's a program called Stream Quality Management that is run by the Department of Natural Resources.
Wow.
And we can test the water 3 times a summer to see what kind of bugs live in the bottom of it. And those bugs tell us how pure the water is.
Because how healthy the river is.
Yeah, because some will live in polluted water, some will live in any kind of water, and some will only live in really nice, pure water. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So a whole decade that you've been doing this.
Yeah.
That's really neat. And you said neighbors got together and decided that you were going to do it. It's amazing how it seems to have gotten much bigger.
It certainly has. Bigger than our wildest dreams.
Well, tell us, what is your favorite story then? Do you have a favorite thing or the most memorable thing other than the statue that you've pulled out of the river?
Oh, well, in the early days we pulled out such things as washing machines and light poles and, just all sorts of things. One of the most unusual was a group pulled out some speakers for like a stereo, and they still worked.
That is a little
surprising. Yeah, who knew?
Well, it sounds like you guys have really come a long way then, that we aren't finding massive pieces of appliance in the water anymore.
Most of it is little stuff, a lot of cans and bottles and styrofoam and plastic. And the high water brings a lot of funny things down from people's yards, swimming, little children's swimming pools. We got a slide this time.
Oh,
yeah.
That poor kid.
Yeah, yeah. But you leave it too close to the river, and
Yeah,
high water like we had in March is going to take it away.
Yeah, I can imagine that does add some very interesting and unique
it does.
artifacts.
It does. So along with cleaning up the river, we like to educate people on what's happening and how special that corridor is and how special that river is and how we all really need to take care of it.
Yeah.
And so we've started something called the Trailblazer Adventure.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
It's lots of fun. It's coming right up, and we hope that everybody listening is going to join us because it's going to be headquartered out of Spring Valley this time, which is, really close.
Yeah.
Because that is a good bike trail hub, and it's also a good canoeing or paddling hub.
Oh, so it's going to have multiple phases then. So
it's like a triathlon, but it's not timed. It's family friendly. It's educational. It's a good end of summer project as a family. So we hope everyone will participate.
So what do you do? Is it?
Well, you can pick your day and your time to do 1 or 3 or 2 or 3 sections. Anytime between July 18th, which is pretty soon, and August the 5th.
Okay.
And we just want you to sign up and let us know you're doing it and send us pictures of your adventure so that you can get your name in a raffle for some prizes, which will be kind of fun.
That'll be an easy thing to get prizes for.
It certainly will be. And you get to walk from Spring Valley on the bike trail up to the Fen. Now, how many people knew that there was a travertine fen in this area, which is a really unique geological formation in Ohio, not just in this area, but in Ohio. There are not many fens, but our section has quite a few that were left over from the glaciers.
Wow.
And then who knew that there was a concrete house in Spring Valley? But we'll show that to you. Who knows about the Riparian Way and the importance of trees along the river? And Spring Valley Recreational Center, or Wildlife Center, and the wonderful fishing and birding that's down there.
Wow.
And then you get to paddle from Constitution Park down to River's Edge, and you'll see where we do the SQM, the stream quality monitoring, and you will also get to see an eagle's nest.
An actual eagle's nest?
An actual eagle's nest.
Oh, how nifty.
Yeah, it's really nifty. It's really going to be fun. And so we hope that a lot of people will join us and come participate and help the general public realize what a special treat, what a special recreational asset we have in our backyards.
Yes, not too many places have this convenient little place for all kinds of activities. I think we were talking earlier, and you said there was fishing.
Oh, lots
of course,
of fishing.
we know you can go tubing and canoeing, and there's a lot of fun to be had.
Our daughter
there.
loves to do the stand-up paddleboard on it.
Oh, okay.
And it's just a wonderful asset, recreational asset.
And of course, it's
and
on all of
economic
us.
asset too, because all those recreational people buy things and
they fund
rent
the
things
area.
and come into the area and spend a little money.
It definitely is. It's special for everybody, and we need to take care of it. Which is, thank you so much for helping and doing the work required to kind of.
It's fun.
Put this together. It sounds like it's kind of a mystery every year.
It's not fun.
Well, cleaning
it's fun. It's fun.
Work is always work, but
but you get it organized, and the day of the event, it's a lot of fun. And we usually have a river festival afterwards in Bellbrook Park, and the whole community comes out, and we celebrate our treasures that we have taken out.
Well,
with a picnic.
Do you try to get hope for more volunteers every year?
We do, although if it's a one-day event, the river is divided up into sections, and we can only have so many canoes in each section. In fact, we can only get so many canoes. But this year, since of the COVID, it was a do-it-yourself type cleanup, and we could take as many as wanted to volunteer. And we were really amazed that usually on a one-day event we get about 300 volunteers, and this year we got 170 one on a do-it-yourself
Yeah, still pretty
basis.
good numbers.
So it was a very good number. I think the parklands got a very good cleaning this year because more people walked than they canoed. But even the people who canoed, even if they did the same section of the river on a different day, they still came up with bags of stuff.
Yeah, because it's constantly just...
It's constantly flowing down, and the more people that use the river, the more turnovers there are, the more trash that gets into the river.
So COVID kind of changed how you guys ran your programs this year?
Yeah, and it has changed the recreational use too. When it's getting a lot more use from people who are in tubes or in kayaks or whatever. It's getting a lot, the river is getting lots of use. The bike trail is getting a tremendous amount of use. So it's
People
good.
are more out and about because it's easier to social distance that way.
Right, all the parks are getting,
A lot more visibility.
yes, exactly, which is great.
That's really, now how long have you guys been doing the Trailblazer Adventure? Is this a...
This is the third year for that.
Okay.
And each year we pick a different section of the corridor so that you can do it year after year after year and eventually get to know the whole Greene County section of the river.
How big is the Little Miami corridor?
Well, it depends on how much property on each side is protected. But basically it's about 120 feet from the river on each side is what the minimum protected area should be.
Okay.
And that gives you trees that are about two lengths apart, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
And that is enough to create wildlife habitat so that all kind of animals can use it, birds as well as mammals can use the corridor safely. And the Little Miami River is 107 miles long. It starts in Clark County and ends up in the Ohio River. It drops about 700 feet.
Wow.
And when you're on it, you don't realize that because it's pretty flat.
It seems to be, yeah.
Unless you try to paddle upstream. And then it's a little difficult. But it's unique in a lot of ways, and it is parts of it are designated as some of the most resilient places in Ohio. Wow. Because down like at Fort Ancient where there's steep cliffs or at the Narrows, animals and plants can move up and down as well as north and south, and that makes them likely to be able to find a niche where they can survive as our temperatures rise. And it's special in that respect. The whole length of it is what they call an IBA, which is, I'd never heard of that until this year.
Sounds like a beer.
Well, I'm sorry, it's not. It's an important birding area.
Ah.
Yeah, and one of the most important birding areas is Spring Valley Wildlife Area, which is the terminal for our biking part of the Trailblazer Adventure.
Oh. So that'll be really a neat asset to explore.
Exactly.
Well, that's neat that you included it this time around. I'm hoping to get involved ourselves. I'm sure the kids would love something to do.
Yeah, it's we hope that it will be a good family event, a good end of the summer type activity for the family to get involved in, that everybody can shine and learn something.
That sounds like a great time to be had by as many people that want to participate as possible. I hope your Facebook feed? Do you want them emailed to the website?
Oh yes,
or how do
everyone needs to sign up on the website. Thank you for reminding me. I hope there's a wonderful slide that will give that address. But any way that you want to contact us is fine. We have several email addresses, all of which feed into www.littlemiamiwatershednetwork.org. But you could do in Little Miami River Cleaners. You could do in LMRK. You can do in LM.
Every variation.
Yeah, every variation you can think of, and you will end up on our website.
That sounds like fun. I look forward to seeing the pictures. I'm going to have to haunt the website as they come in
Sure.
and see how much fun it is.
Join us and see your picture up there.
I'm sure we will. That sounds like fun. Thank you so much for joining us this evening and telling us about the adventure and telling us about what the Little Miami Watershed Network does for the community and Bellbrook Sugar Creek area and making sure that the river stays beautiful and usable for everyone. So we really appreciate what you've done.
Thank you. Our goal is to make it fishable, swimmable, and drinkable.
That's well, thank you.
Thank you for helping us.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening, everyone. We hope that you had fun and learned something. I know I did. Next time around, we will be joined by Lakeisha Taylor. She will be talking to us about what it's like being in the area for as long as she's been. So thank you guys and have a wonderful night.